Welcome to the 2015-2016 DTC Sports High School Basketball Preview. I'm Tom Duggin alongside Terry Collins, who you'll see throughout the course of the season, covering games for us here on DTC Sports. And also with us is White County Assistant Basketball Coach and former Cannon County Assistant Darvin Gill. Today, folks, we're going to be talking about the District 8 AA girls. And when you talk about AA powers in the state of Tennessee, you look no further than the Upper Cumberland region and District 8 AA, and we'll kind of explain that as we get into the standings from a year ago. And, of course, you're going to be familiar with a lot of these teams if you follow this district at all. Livingston and Upperman were 1A and 1B, if you will, last year. Central Magnet, a banner season for the Tigerettes there. Smith County plagued by the Callie Hackett injury down the stretch last year. They ended up bowing out in the district quarterfinals. Then you look at Cannon County, who finished 6-8 in the district, made it all the way to the state quarterfinals. So that shows you the power of 8AA. You can be the fifth-place team in the district and still get to the state tournament. Darvin, I know you were part of that state tournament run, and you've been part of a good recent legacy there at Cannon County. Of course, Coach Michael Duggin and yourself moving over to White County this year. Coach Jonathan Odom will be stepping in. First of all, I know you want to share your thoughts on the run of Cannon County a year ago and expectations as Coach Odom takes over this year, that program.
We were fortunate. Felt like we were playing good at the end of the year, and obviously in this district, you feel like, that if you make it to an opportunity to knock on the door, knock the door down, you can do that. And if you can do it, then, you can make hay from there on out. Obviously, last year was proof of what you mentioned. In this district, again, you're battle tested each and every night. You really, all you got to do is get the chance, And I think obviously all the coaches, I think, in the district, almost to a person feel that way, that you just have to make the games count when they count. And we were fortunate enough that we got playing well, and we actually, you talk about finishing fifth, we had an opportunity during that run to beat everyone that was ahead of us,
right,
on that standing sheet that you just showed. But talking about this year with Coach Odom taking over, Coach Odom, a Cannon County native. He is someone that takes a lot of pride in the program. He was a boys assistant for a number of years. And Jonathan, I have the utmost confidence in what he is embarking on there at Cannon County. Obviously, a couple of returning starters for Cannon County, but obviously lost quite a bit. And, through our legacy that maybe we had a chance to leave there at Cannon, we had some good players. You got to have some good players to do it. I think there's some good players still there and some good players definitely still on the way. But it is a transitional period. Anytime a new coach takes over, and let's just face it, in 8AA this year, it's all about new faces and new places.
Indeed, and Terry, that was my next point. A lot of new coaches this season in District 8AA. One of them over in your backyard at Smith County, Scott Moore. No stranger, he's been coaching over there for a while. Of course, played at Smith County High School, was the assistant last year, but he takes over a program minus Callie Hackett. So some defections from the Smith County Lady Owls a year ago. And we could go back and very well say that might have been Smith County. Where Cannon County was a year ago, does Callie Hackett not hurt herself down toward the end of the season?
Well, Smith County had beaten Cannon County twice during the regular season, 2 good ball games. But when you look at Cannon County, I think the one thing that you could say about them and under Michael Duggin, they were a tournament team. They every year, regardless of, and they had good regular seasons, don't get me wrong, but they always peaked at the right time. And I think when you look at some of these teams in District 8 AA, not that they're duds, but they did not play as well at the end of the season as maybe they did the first of the season or the middle of the season. And with the parity, I think, that you had with the top 5 teams in the district last year, with Cannon being one of those, along with Upperman, Livingston, Central Magnet, and Smith, I think on any given night, it was proven time and time again that either one of those 5 could beat either of the other.
Taking a look at the other team we'll be seeing quite a bit this season, DeKalb County, a couple of defections from Coach Joe Pat Cope's 20-win team of a year ago. Lauren Cripps, the outstanding shooter, and the post player Maggie Knowles, who transferred from the program. Darvin, depth was a key for Coach Cope's, or was it not a key, but was certainly a problem last year for a young Lady Tiger team. Again, it looks like it could be a concern for DeKalb County again this year, even with a good nucleus coming back.
Yeah, it's still early in the year, and I tell you, Coach Cope has done a good job, and you look at that maybe the starting five and maybe one or two off the bench. But, of course, in this district, we talk about depth, and depth is always key. And I think he is working toward developing some of that depth, but I don't think that depth is where he wants it at right now, this early in the season. But now, the one thing that DeKalb County can do this year, they're going to be able to shoot the ball, and they're going to make teams guard them in their manner. You know, I think offensively, DeKalb County might surprise a few people. Now, defensively, that could turn out to be somewhat of a weakness, but you still have to guard DeKalb County on the offensive end. And then I think Coach Cope is willing to take his chances with that and see what he can make happen.
As we look at the district top to bottom, it looks like Upperman is the team to beat this year. Kira Levy, the outstanding guard there at Upperman, and Coach Dana McWilliams, who does a wonderful job there in Baxter Terry. She's pretty much got everybody back from a team that was 26-7 a year ago. They're going to be tough again this year. You never can count out Livingston Academy. I think you maybe look at Central Magnet. They could take a step back with Ola Obi and Claudia Smith no longer with that program. Do you see it being Upperman head and shoulders the team to beat, or is Livingston going to be right there this year?
Well, it's hard to count Livingston out. I was looking back. They've averaged 27 wins over the last 10 seasons. That's pretty remarkable because they don't play an easy schedule. If you'll look every year, they are littered with AAA opponents and tough opponents, and Leslie just does a great job with her team every year. But I still say Upperman is, and I'm going to go ahead and predict it, head and shoulders above everybody because they've got everybody back. They had one senior that didn't play a lot a year ago, and that was, I think, that valuable experience when they go to some of these tough places in the district to play. I think it'll pay big dividends. Now, Livingston losing six seniors and all 5 starters, it's going to be a new cast of characters. But, you know, their junior high program, year in, year out, is good, and I think that helps, you know, when they're successful. I think that breeds success on that next level, and I look for Livingston to be there. Now, Central Magnet, of course, you know, you've got 5 coaches. Scott Moore at Smith County, Larry White at Macon County, Central Magnet, you got Tanya up at York. I mean, you've got a lot of new coaches that are inside the district that a lot of people don't know that much about. And I think that's going to add a little bit to the mystery of how the district's going to play out this year.
And Darvin, you know, having coached in this district, a new coach coming into 8AA girls, it can be brutal. And you got the likes of Coach Riddle there at Livingston, Coach McWilliams at Upperman. They play for keeps each and every week. Now, some of these coaches certainly familiar with the district landscape, but boy, it's a different story when you're heading up the program.
It is a different story, and I will say this to the point of Upperman. I do think Upperman deserves to be picked one. I think, honestly, the only team that I can predict them losing to is Livingston. I just think with the, you're talking about 3 coaches returning the district, Joe Pat Cope in Smithfield, Leslie Riddle, Smith Riddle in Livingston, of course, Dana McWilliams. And I think those programs with that continuity is what's going to kind of propel them in some games that they maybe shouldn't win. And with that being said, I think that is why Livingston and over on the long haul, Upperman has always been so consistent. You look at those average 27 wins, Coach Leslie Smith Riddle is a big part of that, the consistency. Now, with all those new coaches, they have to strive to find that consistency in this district, and it is tough. I think Upperman is clearly 1, and I think Livingston's clearly 2 after seeing them early in this season. I think Livingston, after seeing them already this year, I think they have shown me, if I had doubts, that they're going to have something to say about the district race.
5 total new head coaches in the District 8AA girls division. It should be interesting, but don't be surprised if 1, maybe even 2 teams out of 8AA are standing in the final 8 in Murfreesboro when all is said and done at the conclusion of the season. And, of course, you can watch District 8AA basketball this season here on DTC Sports. Go to www.dtc3.tv to get a complete list of games that will be filmed this season right here on DTC Sports. For Darvin and for Terry, I'm Tom Duggin for DTC Sports.